Think you've graduated spiritually? Maybe. But has your biology passed the light exam? Because initiation isn't about how many books you've read or how zen you sound on Instagram. It's about how much light your cells hold. Welcome, welcome, welcome to This Spiritual Thing. I'm Elsa Thomas, the frequency architect and the translator of the woo-woo into frameworks that actually work. And today we're stepping into the league draft, the hockey league draft. Initiations show which league your soul body has access to. Here's a speed recap so your today's episode makes more sense. In episode 5, we talked about dimensions. We mainly talked about the emotional and mental scorecards. They're great for processing, but not necessarily the whole game. In episode 7, we met your invisible team, your guides and guardians, and they align you to your theme. But to play even more light axis helps. In episode 8, we unpacked mission, purpose, and success. Mission is the what, purpose is the how, and the reason more light helps is because for self mastery and mission clarity. So, how do we define initiation? It is the percentage of light your cells hold. Each level, and there are multiple, is like a draft threshold. It's not just a vibe, it's biology that meets spirit. Ascension is the ongoing journey of expansion. So Ascension is like the season you're playing, and Initiation is the league you've earned access to. Planes of existence, imagine that as a giant hockey complex. Planes are the rinks. Each rink has its own rules. The physical rink is matter and biology. The emotional, mental rinks, their thoughts and feelings. The other rinks carry intuition, will, reality, surfing, structuring, and so forth. Dimensions, imagine them as the camera angles inside those rings. Same ring, different viewpoints. At the entry angles, the experience feels earth focused, survival, form based. More angles means more access to flow, beauty, joy, more coherence, and this is where service and design emerge. The bodies are different bodies. They're like the teams or different components skating on those rings. The physical body is plays on the physical ring. And this is where gifts like tissue regeneration emerge. Emotional and mental bodies are like how you process those plays. The soul body is like how you skate in different additional rings. Different rings, different angles, different teams, each with its own ceiling, and access to the rink is decided based on the light your cells hold. Now, here's where most people trip. Physical body is the embodiment. It's like the skater on the ice. Emotional, mental, processing. The playmakers, the passing, the strategy, the interpretation of the game. The soul body is the access, the draft card, the light that you carry, the league you enter. So, in plain English, you can be physically skilled, emotionally tuned, like high IQ, high EQ, but still in the juniors if your cells don't carry that much light yet. But access doesn't necessarily mean mastery. Just like getting drafted doesn't mean that you have won. It just means that you have earned ice time to evolve. Now, imagine this whole table like a draft board in the soul leagues. At the fourth initiation, your soul wakes up. You realize, oh, there's more than me. It's like first noticing the game is bigger than the player. By the fifth, you start consulting your soul, but only when you want to. Reality still calls most of the place. At the sixth, the ice shifts. New teammates, new doors, ones that you align with. And the soul begins to lead you onto aligned ice. By the seventh, the personality and soul merge. Service begins to flow organically, and reality is no longer the referee. It still plays a role, but more of a consultant. At the eighth initiation, your karma balances. Whew, it's like stepping out of the penalty box for good. It's also where your lifetime mission begins. At the ninth, the soul personality coherence really starts making major leaps. This is where mission expands into reality, surfing, engineering, restructuring, designing new plays, shaping a new way of living. And beyond, the monad takes over. Reality itself begins completely restructuring, service expands to planetary and beyond. Not every initiation, that is every level, isn't just one checkpoint. Each one has about 7 planes of existence: the physical, the emotional, the mental, the causal, and more. So you're not just skating one rink, you're skating 7 rinks. You're mastering all the angles within each rink. And that's where dimensions comes in, like camera angles on the game on each rink. Same rink or 7 rinks, different plays, but each dimension gives you a different perspective to master. And the percentages that you saw, the 65, the 75, they meant that at least 30% of your cells have hit that level of light. The rest of your cells will catch up in time. To summarize, the planes of existence, the 7 rings. The dimensions are the camera angles. The bodies are the team and the components, the physical skates, the emotional mental, the soul drafts. And initiations are your draft or access to more leagues. Each body plays its part, but only the soul body determines which league you can actually enter. Different levels, different axes, and that's why 2 people can look very spiritual, but play entirely different games. So this was a lot. So let's pause and reground. Ascension, the journey. Initiation, the milestone. Soul initiation is the access. Emotional and mental consciousness is how you process what you receive. Access doesn't mean mastery. Being drafted to the league doesn't make you an MVP. Planes of existence, there are 7 arenas that all of this plays out in, and each has its own ceiling and own rules. Mission clarity arrives when more light in your cells and daily purposes. This is typically around the 8th or the 9th initiation, where your mission stops being vague and starts becoming crystal clear. This week's activation is really simple, so I invite you to just close your eyes, get comfortable, and ask Archangel Metatron, increase my light quotient to 100%, where aligned. Use it whenever you like, once a day or when waiting in line. Sense what shifts. Initiation isn't about thinking better or feeling better. It's about carrying more light, more access. And access, that's the upgrade from insight to impact, where your mission finally finds you. If you want a confirmation on what level you are at your soul body, book a clarity session. And next week, we're diving into listening, because guidance is always streaming. The real question is, are you tuned in? And remember, whatever you do, keep streaming your soul in high definition. You matter, you got this, and the universe totally subscribe to your channel. Ciao for now.